Check Facebook. Popped up. There you go. Check Facebook. Facebook working most on Christ. Shalom Israel. Y'all should be sharp right up to the brothers. Y'all should right up by Hashem. Y'all shout to the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Priest officer Asta Wak. You know what I'm saying? Filling in for preaching officer Dayala. Get down y'all head. Excellent brother. You know what I'm saying? Rats is on fire. You understand? Holding down the class on the day, I mean, preaching officer in the car. I'm gonna bring something. I'm gonna bring it up later, though. You know what I'm saying? The car, you got an issue, so lock it. You got an issue. I'll bring it up later. It ain't a real issue, you know.
What's that an actual difference?
Come on, let's play. We about to play a video in a second, y'all. Hold on, give us a second. I want to also be able to be an admin in this room, so I can kick everybody out of the class that need to be kicked out of the class. A lot of you. Somebody said I'm not freeway. He said I'm not freeway.
Who said that?
Somebody in the comments. That's why it's dangerous, man.
No, it's all good.
Let me say no more. Wednesday, I believe. Either Wednesday, the all class.
Yeah, it's a little close. Everybody watching you right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the law a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
You got the video?
I'm pulling up.
Well, the first scripture I want is Deuteronomy 27:1. What I'm trying to show is who are these laws in this Bible for? You understand? Because of the Christian church, because of our oppressor, you know what I'm saying, going around and lying to everybody in the earth about the Bible. Now everybody thinks the Bible is for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not. The Bible is not for everybody. It was never meant for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So from Adam to the people after Adam, God always is choosing somebody to be with. And then the choice ended up coming down to Abraham, to Isaac and Jacob. There's other people in the Bible you can read about, like Lot, Adam, and different people like that. And then it starts to become about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob's name was changed to Israel. You know what I'm saying? So the book of Deuteronomy 1 says, and Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, so it says, Moses with the elders of Israel. Saying the other nations were not there. It was just Moses and the elders of Israel giving instruction in the beginning for these laws. Because what ended up happening is we ended up believing that everybody was given a chance to repent for their sins, when the other nations, it was never a sin to go against these laws in the first place, because they were never given the law. It shows proof in their culture today, in the things that they do and the things that they eat. You understand what I'm saying? Let me put a dietary law up real quick.
I'm about to video shoot right now.
I see it, the water. The water, keep that video up. I just wanted to speak about this video real quick. I'm gonna show it to everybody on TikTok too. You want to go let play?
Yeah.
People my bad. When I see it. Show it to you on TikTok.
Grace
theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other. It's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got to bury you because he white. You're going to personally tell a white kid, oh, the white people are all down as oppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? Who's not degrees?
Now, if I could, right, this video is disgusting in a way. Let me just say this, right? He's saying that if we teach critical race theory in schools, which is critical race theory, will end up showing like why our people are, you know what I'm saying, in the condition that they're in today, things that happen to them throughout history, just make them more aware of their history. And if teaching that in the classroom will make the kids in that classroom hate each other, and then to say you shouldn't teach that to kids in class because you don't want them to hate each other, that is a weird thing to tell somebody, right? Like, do you understand that? Like, I can't tell you about what happened to your people, because if I do, the children of the people who did it to you and your children are going to hate each other. That's heavy. And he's saying he wants to prevent that. And when you think about it, what would that tell you, Nicole? If you had to put it in your mind and just what is your mind telling you with that statement that he made? It's like, you go ahead.
Yeah, like basically when like critical race theory, he's against it because he know that it's going to build a fight in young black boys and girls, young Hispanic Native American boys and girls, and he don't want to see that.
Right.
So he don't got that rebellion spirit in him. He would be what you would call the house Negro, or you know, your Uncle Ruckus, with that type of mentality where they cleave on mind, body, and soul to the slave master.
No, if you peek too, we're gonna keep playing the video, but if you peek too, he said, how do I got 2 medical degrees? And he said, how was I able to do that, even though I didn't have a mom and a dad? Now, me and you know, if you go, if you go and you look at history, you gotta know, listen, what happened to your mother and your father? Does anybody know what happened to the mothers and fathers of our people? Anybody on TikTok, y'all know what happened to the mothers and fathers of our people? What's wrong with the mothers and fathers of our people? You seen that show, The Boys?
I heard of it. Never got the chance to watch it.
There's the movie, I believe Johnny Depp is in it, where he played what's the is it Olive or something? It's the guy who was trafficking drugs from the other side.
I think it was called Coke, something like that, or Blow.
No, it's that one, and it's another one. It might not be Johnny Depp. There's another one with him in there. He was bringing the drugs back over, but this was during, in our drug era.
Yeah, it was Blow.
It's 2 movies like this. It's one that came out later in the 2000s. It's another one.
That's Blow. That's Johnny Depp when he was able to move it before Reagan. He was able to move drugs in and out of the country easy. He started off with weed and then he moved on to coke, right?
But what ended up happening to our mothers and fathers, long story short, is back in the 60s when our family was together, that was an issue for our oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? It was an issue for our oppressor because why? We were being oppressed to the point where, like critical race theory would teach, we can see what you're doing to us. We know what you're doing to us. We know that you don't like us. So guess what? We decided to love ourselves, man. We decided to go and be doctors and lawyers and build whatever infrastructure we could build by ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? And when we did that, they was looking at us and they seen that. So you know what? This is an issue. We got to break this up, man. We got to destroy the men in this household. We got to make them be integrated with us, because if they're integrated with us, they won't be separated and as strong as they are. They won't have their own business. You understand what I'm saying? Why can you sign LeBron James to $1 billion contract for Nike? Why can you do that? You can sign LeBron James to $1 billion contract because he doesn't have the infrastructure among his own people, or didn't decide to build his own infrastructure to make his own business. He's obviously worth the $1 billion that you gave him. You understand what I'm saying? And some more. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I don't want to get too off topic. I'm gonna break it down some more.
I want to say something too.
Go ahead.
A lot of times our people are blinded by the trinkets, by the accomplishments in this kingdom,
Right.
nothing in this kingdom should ever take your spirit away from the truth.
Right.
And that's what he's saying. Like, and it's sad to say, like, in today's time, we go to a university and we are brainwashed.
Right.
We're brainwashed by believing that this certificate validates us. You know, it pushes us away from our people. We graduate from college dumb because college is not going to teach you what we teach you in here, how to have integrity.
Right.
No, college is going to show you how to be the best at whatever major that you're majoring or minoring in. With this brother right here, he said, well, I didn't have anybody and I was able to get my college degree. Okay, your situation was different from someone that had to grow up in Kensington and Allegheny.
You got to slow it down. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, I stopped right here.
That's exactly where I was going with it. He understands it.
I'm gonna just shut up.
Listen, man. When the Bible said we all gonna be in one spirit, like, that was one spirit right there. You start talking. You start saying exactly what I was going to say. Both sides, right?
I'm gonna just go ahead.
Let's get some more of the videos. Like,
2 levels of grace. No mom, no dad in the house. Worked my way through college. Sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that look like all the other white folks kept me from doing that? Are you serious? What's sickening about this whole thing is what y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you ain't looking out there in the world, and white folks ain't gonna let you get them. Oh, you're not gonna be here because the white man gonna keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now? If some white man kept me down. How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I went for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? This is the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This.
you can pause it right stop. Yeah, we good.
Can I say something?
That's enough. Go ahead.
Okay. I grew up in a crazy neighborhood. Right. I always like tell people this story. I went to a middle school that was like a low key juvenile center.
Yeah.
That you come and go throughout the week. Right. And with this school, it was kids that was messed up. Right. Came from broken homes, of course, things of that sort. So now, when I first went there, I was a fragile little light-skinned kid. You know what I mean? I ain't want to fight nobody. You know, I ain't know how to really bust jokes like that. I was kind of more on the non-violent.
So like the brown skin brothers, listen, we all go through it. So like, it wasn't because you was like.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you the picture.
Yeah.
So long story short, people was picking with me, and like. It was jail rules in there. You let one person, play like a chump, then everybody else gonna want to play like a chump. So I was forced to adapt to my environment, right? A lot of us are forced to adapt to our environment, and I kind of got lost in my environment because I had to be animalistic. I had to be battle ready towards anybody to the point where you couldn't really say too much to me, or I'm like, yo, what's up? Throw your hands up, or I'm swinging first. And then as I kept going, I realized when I went to high school, I did good to be able to go into a good high school because I wanted a little different. I go inside the high school, I'm hostile.
Yeah.
Everybody looking at me like, dude, why are you so gangster? Like, why are you so rough? And I'm like, dang, maybe I'm tripping. Dang, and I'm that institutionalized. So like with him, he had to adapt to whatever he had to adapt to. Everybody adapt different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us came from different kind of homes. Everybody had certain variables placed in their life. You can't base your story off of mine because in here we can say none of y'all real men. None of y'all ain't putting on boots fighting. Because in here, that's what we honor.
That's right.
But we're not going to look at a man and say that and come and say he weak.
Yeah.
And come at his manhood at his very essence because he ain't put on the boots. Maybe he don't know. A lot of us, we know one thing. God, you gotta have the spirit of God to want to fight this fight.
Right.
You gotta be tired of seeing your people at the bottom.
Right.
Can't sit up there and say, "Oh well, what's the excuse? What's the excuse?" I got homies that mom was on drugs all their life.
Right.
You had to see that. Had to have a stepfather tell them that they was nothing and they was just fat and disgusting and they'll never be nothing. And it wasn't even 14, barely hit puberty. Is he counting that? No, all because he chased the American dream and he achieved it.
Right.
Now, we don't need to worry about that. No, we need to look at all therapists.
If I could, you could pull the verse when Moses killed somebody for the Israelite when he first, you know what I'm saying, realized his people's been, when he first stood up to the oppression of people's face. Whatever. Now, if I could, right, with this video, this brother saying that we shouldn't teach critical race theory in the school, we got several different points of what's happening and what's going through his mind and what he's saying, right? The fact that the truth would divide the children is already a heavy point in itself, because this is the thing about it, right? He don't want that taught in school, right? We broke it out in class before. I brought it out on the streets. It's on our YouTube. Millions of acres of land that belong to black farmers have been stolen by the Klan, by the government, and by the racists that stayed around them, right? So just on the level of needing to know what's going on, listen, you might live in a city that your people not even originally from. Your people really might be from South Carolina. Your people might really be from Georgia. Here you are up in New York. But what happened? The Great Migration. The racists ran you off of your land and out of your town. Now in California, they did this, right? Took beachfront property from this black family. They was able to get their property back. You understand what I'm saying? And then there's some stipulations or whatever around it, but they was able to get their property back. So when you think about critical race theory and you say don't teach it, it's like, why not teach the children? You're trying to fight for something that your oppressor does not want you to be taught in your own schools. You understand what I'm saying? The oppressor don't want this in school because of what he just said. It's going to divide us again. And then we'll begin to look at each other and make sure that each other is strong, because then we'll see why our family is broken up. Like in the Isupk, it is absolutely our mission to put the family back together, man. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Absolutely our mission to put the man, the woman, and the child back together. You understand what you got it? Yeah. What? It is our mission to put our families back together, right? Why? Because children are more likely to harm themselves. Children are more likely to be homeless. You understand what I'm saying? They're as well. Yeah. But we tell our children not to be like their fathers, man. You sitting here, you got this brother, yeah, okay, you ain't have your mom and your father. You decided that you was gonna work hard and get your PhD and be in charge and be a boss and this, that, and the third. Listen, some of us that don't have our fathers, we don't make it, man. You understand what I'm saying? We already clock out at 12, 10. You understand what I'm saying? I think I was at my worst at the age of 10, man. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yo, it's like this, right? You put 100 men, you know what I mean, different areas in the wild, you know what I mean, by themselves, you're gonna have brothers that's gonna what? They gonna eat. Some brothers, they gonna go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna be able to make it out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like that just gives examples that everybody has a different fight.
Right.
For certain reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? And the one thing that, you know, I think it's heavy that you put the video up, that this shows how much the Most High God told us to never ever get comfortable when people are not in rulership.
Right.
See, people on TikTok, people on Facebook and Instagram, and all around the world make comments as if this is the place of our rest. It's fine for some white person to say, "Oh, why you have to, you know, keep bringing up the past and this and that," because that's how we navigate.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, you when you was 10, you was what we call
Is that my worst? I was at my worst at 10. Like I'm talking about thoughts of harming myself, thoughts of harming somebody else,
Right.
ready to clock out early at 10. So this brother was thinking about, might have been 10, thinking about a PhD or whatever. That's not what was on my mind at 10. You understand what I'm saying? I already was over it. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. This is horrible. I'm done. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and like you were just saying, as the children of the people who go through these things, we see it all play out in real time. And what I mean by that is, me and you, we didn't go into unalived or in jail by 25. A lot of our people don't make it. We in Philadelphia right now. These kids is not making it past 12 and 13 and 11. They get locked up with long-term sentences for doing something for somebody. They getting 20 years at 12 out here in Philadelphia. So this brother saying that, listen, if you live in a place where nobody's family is together, nobody cares that you outside at 12 o'clock at the age of 12. Everybody, if you don't got some type of protection, when I say protection, I mean something that you ain't supposed to say. You know what I'm saying. You don't got some type of protection and you running around at 11 and you sitting there like, yo, my life is in danger at 11, man. I cannot walk outside into my streets at 11, man. You understand what I'm saying? Brothers have got killed at cookouts. Listen, a brother was they was trying to take a brother up out of here and he held the baby up in the air. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you might not make it out here from a child, man. So when he sits there and he says, oh, you know, I got my PhD, I was able to prosper and this, that, and the third. Our condition was purposely made hard so that you would not prosper as a nation.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what we got to understand. Somebody made it harder for you to prosper as a nation, to sit there and throw it in your own people's face and act like it did not happen because you ended up being successful. It's selfish, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's selfish as hell, man. And listen, I grew up in a bad neighborhood and then I moved to the suburbs. And the same experience you had, I had. When I got out there, I had to realize something. I was like, listen, I'm a little ghetto kid. I need to get my act together. Everybody out here don't act like me. You understand what I'm saying? I got my own space now. I'm not in everybody else's spaces in my house. We don't run around and do certain stuff like we used to do out here. Everybody, you know. And so I done been around our people that got a little bit of money. And I done been around our people that's from these neighborhoods. And it's like, I can't move out and have already seen both sides and go, you know what? Damn what they going through over there. If I can do it, they can do it when they might not be as strong as me. They might not have got, their parent might not have got them out of the condition like I got out of the condition. What if you would have went to a worse high school when you got into high school? What if it was worse? What if it was doubled down? You got in there and you like, listen, if I don't join into a gang, I will not be safe here. I have no choice but to join the gang out here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yo, that's crazy. Like, shout out to my pops. You know what I'm saying? And my aunt and them. You know what I mean? My dad. You know, like honestly, if it wasn't for my dad, I'd probably be dead because I would have you know what I mean, rode with the wrong folks. Like my dad always trying to give me a balance. You know what I mean? It was kind of like impossible for me not to do devil in the streets, do what I did because of my environment. You know what I'm saying? But I was able to go to that good school, and it helped. It kind of helped me save my life. It gave me a better perspective of life. Like, yo, it's more to life than just the streets.
Right.
And I'll be around these scholars, these intelligent people, and then I go, like a lot of things that I learned in high school, I still utilize today.
Right.
Because it was such a shock to me, but a difference.
Right.
Now, let's say if I went to Bartram High School in Southwest, one of the worst high schools in the city. That's where all my friends went.
Right.
They said it was just like still being at Tilden. You know what I mean? And I would have been in fights, shootouts that because I was in somebody else's stuff. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. I barely had to fight inside I ain't never had to fight inside my high school.
Right.
You know what I mean? Since I was there.
Right.
I might fought outside, but I never had to fight anybody from my school. You know what I'm saying? And that's something like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, what if? Right. You know what I'm saying? What if I didn't go to that school? What if I did go to the bad school? And that's what a lot of our situations, like if you're around a bunch of people, and I seen this, like your neighborhood is jacked up. You know what I'm saying? You don't see your mom and your dad really passionate about nothing in life.
Right.
They ain't giving you no game about life and giving you that speech, look, you better than me, do this for you know what I'm saying? They ain't really sitting you down like that.
Now, if I could, what you just saying is a great segue and a point that I 100% agree with. This is the thing about us in the UPK. A lot of people wonder what we doing in here, right? All it takes is two people to decide that they're gonna be family and they're gonna stick together and they're gonna love each other and have their children witness that, man. And when them children witness that, it don't matter if you don't have any money. Once they see you and grow up in that loving environment, even though the things are like they are outside, they'll make a decision and go, you know what? Let me honor my mother and my father for the way that they raised me. Let me honor them for the way that they made sure I had love in this house. Because that was something I noticed as a kid. When I was going outside, I'm like, listen, I have a hard time in my house. Some of y'all parents do not love y'all, man. Some of y'all are out here by yourself, man. You understand what I'm saying? I realize, you know what? I'm going through this situation in my house right now, but at the same time, I got more love than a lot of people got, man. You understand what I'm saying? Some of it might have came from my grandmother or from different people, my aunts. You understand what I'm saying? And I realized that if I would have felt the way that I felt as a child and nobody cared about me, I probably would have did something to myself or did something to somebody else. I'm going to just be honest with you. So you can't sit here and say that the condition that we was put in, you understand? I went to go visit my father in prison. You understand what I'm saying? They came and took my mom out the house. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I had to witness in my life. Everybody does not make it from these situations. You can give me the book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. Because this is kind of the state that I like to make sure that our people understand that we in, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it first. I'm gonna read something else for you. If you can still pull that for me. The water.
You want me to read Exodus?
It's 2 and 10, right? That's what I just asked you for.
It's actually
no, the 1 and 8 I just said.
1 and 8.
Yeah.
Exodus 1 and 8.
Come
on. This talking about the one when he slew the Egyptian.
Nah, not that one. This is a different one. That go with this little circle I'm about to go in real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. It said, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships for the Israelites." Egypt represents captivity. We are saying that we are the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the real Israelites. When you go in Egypt and you look at any wall in there and you see somebody doing any type of work, they are never the oppressor. They are always brown. You understand what I'm saying? It's not me trying to be a racist. It's just what it is. Then when you look at the lineage, Ham produced Africans. Shem is Ham blood brother. So that means the rest of the Shemites at one point were all brown. Then you get down to Ishmael, who's the son of Isaac, and Ishmael is the Arabs, and they were all brown. So get that out your head, thinking that there's no way that brown people are Israelites when there's people that they're saying are also Jews that are over there in Africa, man. Like they hate us saying that we the Israelites so damn bad. It's ridiculous. I'm realizing like this is what it's really like to be hated in here. Like you already get it as a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, but god damn, when you say you an Israelite, I think it get worse. Salaki. But it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. What is that ship, man? Didn't we come over here on cargo slave ships? Didn't they pack us in the bottom of ships and bring us back into bondage, man? Egypt is bondage for Israelites, man. That's what we remember about Egypt. It said, Egypt again with ships by the way where I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning we're not going to see our homeland again, man. We're not supposed to be back in Israel, man, in a large number. We're not like the curses prevent us from going back over there and it being our land again. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to see it anymore again. We've seen many different lands since this scripture was spoken. We then got put in one captivity, got out the captivity, got in another captivity, got out the captivity, got in another, and so on and so forth until we ended up over here, man. You understand what I'm saying? It says, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. The Bible, the people, the children of God have enemies on the earth, man. You should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning nobody's going to redeem you out your captivity because it just says you're going to be sold, man. And nobody is coming to get us from this captivity. You read the other scripture.
Book of Exodus chapter 1 and 8.
Go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt.
There arose a new king over Egypt. Go ahead.
Which knew not Joseph.
Which didn't know Joseph. What is the significance of this king not knowing Joseph? Joseph is the reason why Egypt knew the famine was coming, where they were able to prepare and stack up on grains and different things, knowing that there's going to be a time period where there's going to be a drought, man. There's going to be famine, there's going to be drought. But guess what? His brother came, this Israelite came in. He had a dream, told the Pharaoh about it. They raised him up to like being, I think, second to Pharaoh, man. You understand what I'm saying? So they raised him up to such a high level. But this king, he don't know Joseph. He don't give a damn about what Joseph did. You understand what I'm saying? This is none of his concern about none of what Joseph did. Go ahead.
Which knew not Joseph, verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
It says the children of Israel are what?
More and mightier than we.
Then the Pharaoh said the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. I mean. You understand what I'm saying? What is that saying, man? He's talking to his people. He's realizing, man, listen, man, it's all these Israelites. We've been having children for years. And you know it's lawful if you're an Israelite to have more than one wife. So it's just brothers with 3 and 4 wives and 17 kids. So like you gotta think like on grandma's time. My grandma had like 9 kids. Some other people be like, yeah, my grandma had 14 kids. My grandma had 12 kids. You gotta think this Israelite time, this before real contraceptives and all that. Your brother probably got 27 kids, one brother. Understand what I'm saying? Probably got some kids, and then you just raise them all up. All of y'all is, sticking together. Y'all got your own land in the land of Goshen. Y'all don't want to be around everybody else, and there's a lot of y'all. You understand what I'm saying? They sit there and they look at you like, listen, this is gonna be a problem if we let this keep growing like this. You don't remember Joseph to honor what Joseph did for y'all before. You're like, this right here, this is a problem. And this is what happened in America, man. We got out of slavery, right? And by the 60s, we had certain neighborhoods and certain places where we was at booming out. You understand what I'm saying? We had Black Wall Street, towns in Florida, different places where, we was doing very, very well for ourselves. And they seen it and said, this is a problem out. You understand what I'm saying? Among themselves. This is a goddamn problem. So like it. Keep going.
God, no sweat. Boom. Verse 10. Come, let us deal wisely with them.
Let's do what?
Deal wisely with them.
Go ahead.
Lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
Now listen, this is biblical wisdom right here, man. This is something that you got to understand about the world. This is why people go into Christian church and don't learn a damn thing, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can sit here and read this and then look at exactly what happened to us, man. They seen what we was going through. You know what they did? They said, listen, they multiplying. They having a lot of kids. So what we got to do? Let's make a situation where the woman can get money and housing. The water. Get housing and money, but it cannot be a man in the house. You understand what I'm saying? Brothers and told me when they was kids, man, them people came in their house, checked every closet, checked under the bed, checked every shoe to make sure it wasn't the size of a man's shoe, stripped them down to their underwear, made sure whatever was going on with the kids. And that's how they used to do us, man. You understand what I'm saying? You know why they used to do that? Because they seen we were becoming more and mightier, man. We were becoming more and more mighty as a people inside of their land. And if you treat us like you hate us and we inside of your land, guess what we do? Well, Minister Farrakhan, didn't they start communicating with Arab countries across the water, right?
I believe so.
Wasn't
Malcolm X started first.
Malcolm X was in contact with people across the water, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Martin Luther King in contact with people across the water?
Yeah, he was joining
With the communists.
the communists in Ghana.
You see what I'm saying? Then the next thing you start to see is our people over here going, you know what? Damn who we living with. We're not a part of this country. We are being treated wrong in this country. You know what we're gonna do? They're gonna send us the money over here to work and do things over here. Now that's unlawful according to God. God is the only one who's gonna get us out of the situation. That's why it did not work. You understand what I'm saying? And the other reason why it didn't work is because they thought that they were wisely with us. You can read this real quick on my phone, real quick. It's a lot. Real quick, I already got it queued up.
This is vera.org.
Yeah, this is the president of the United States.
No sweat.
This is the president, right? Reagan was the president. Nixon, Nixon was the president.
President Nixon. This is from vera.org. A quote from President Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what this war on drugs was really all about? The Nixon campaign in 1968 and Nixon White House after that had two enemies.
What the war is all about, we got two enemies, right? Somebody tell them I'm lying. What am I lying about? Go ahead.
Ain't no sweat. The anti-war left and black people.
And what?
The anti-war left and black people.
And what?
Black people.
And what?
Black people.
Black people were the enemies. And that was the president saying that black people was the enemies. The anti-war left and black people. Go ahead.
If people want to, they think we don't know nothing. Okay, what is going on in America right now? There's a war against the conservatives, against the left. Mm-hmm. Why? Because the same way Nixon, what people wanted. Oh, don't fight the peace war, the feminist movement, and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. Conservatives know one thing: if you mess up the formula that we have, right, with this whole democratic mindset that people have now, you're going to destroy the house. Right. And if you see today, you see what's happening. That's a fact. With what's going on with the left. Uh-huh. They pushing all types of bills and agendas, and now we looking at our own households, the schools, bathrooms. You know what I'm saying? Mass media, entertainment. Right. Women are upset right now because they don't like how the changes happened that the left made. He was at war with that. Right. Well, that's what they would consider soft, un-American. Then you got us. And then
you got us. This is like we ain't with none of that. They ain't got nothing to do with us. We raising up. We getting strong. We got the Black Panther Party. We got this. We got that. We like, forget all of y'all. We gonna go to school. We gonna become lawyers, doctors. We gonna do our thing. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have the laws of God, which we needed in order for anything we try to do to work. But they saw that and they said, black people are the enemies of the United States, man. Right. And that's why drugs ended up in our neighborhoods. That's why our families ended up broken up. It's the same reason with Pharaoh, man. Pharaoh seen how strong we was getting, man. And he said, listen, damn that. We need to do something about this. They having too many kids. Like I just said, my grandma had 9 kids. You understand what I'm saying? Some people, grandma's got 12, 14 kids. You sit there, then look, granddad had a family across town. He had 7 kids over there. My granddad had a bunch of kids. My mom's father was in Alabama making a whole bunch of kids, left Alabama, ended up in Maryland, made some more kids, and went somewhere else. He probably made some more kids after that. Now, we keep doing this over generation after generation. We won't be the minority for long. You understand what I'm saying? Before they started, you can get my phone back. The water. Before they started saying all this stuff about the so-called Mexicans coming over here, I just kept seeing videos on YouTube of the how oppressive, noticing that the Mexicans was taking all the neighborhoods that was just him, all Mexicans. He started seeing it like all Mexican, that neighborhood, all Mexican, by that down there by the park. I'm seeing it, like I'm watching it in real time. And before I wasn't in here, so I didn't understand what I was looking at. Next thing you know, now we got to build a wall. Now they're in cages. Now you don't want them coming over here. You know why? Because if people start to become the minority, things that you wanted, that's how we become the enemy of the government. Because then guess what? If we start voting, you see what I'm saying? And there's more of us than it is of you. And our candidate is got checking all the boxes. It's over with. You understand what I'm saying? That's why Obama became the president. Obama became the president. I mean, that's why Donald Trump became the president. Donald Trump became the president because that black face that was in office, a lot of people seen that was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like the things that's coming with that because he came with that new agenda too. I don't like that new agenda. I don't like that face. I don't like nothing that's going on. And mind you, Obama's not our people. His father's from Kenya and his mother was an oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? He's not our people. But they saw that and they like, you know what? Donald Trump got in there and started acting a fool. He's like, look, tear all that down. You see what happened when he lost the election? They was climbing up the wall. You understand what I'm saying? Falling off the wall. That wall was probably like 30, 40 feet. Unathletic, never did a pull-up in their life. They was getting over that wall. You understand what I'm saying? It was real ironic. You sitting there trying to build a wall for our brothers and sisters. Now you climbing the damn wall trying to get in. Falling 30 feet down. Listen, that should be a holiday, man. We should celebrate that day. Just watch the highlights of that. That's all I was gonna say. We should just watch the highlights. That's good highlights, man. That's good material, man. I was at home. I was enjoying that, man. Listen, brothers just moved back to school. Probably put a projector somewhere where we can blow it up real big, man, and just get a cold one and just watch them fall off the wall. So, like, go ahead.
Man, listen, man, you know, it's history. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with our people got to realize, with everything that you just said is facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that brother that you showed earlier, a brother like him really want to understand that, or hear it, and then you say, well, what do that profit us? It profit how you move.
Right.
Like, come here, I know how to navigate them.
Right.
You know, I know not to.
That's what I was saying, kids. If we raise a kid, whether we broke or rich, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And here we know how to navigate. We make money in here. I hate when people say we're broke. I hate when they say that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even care.
Like, it's like, I hate when they say that because it's like, yo, a lot of us are really good off. We got families. You know what I'm saying? We doing good. You know how much the garment is that you make a joke? Them garments is expensive. It costs more than your rent down there. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that people need to start really getting in a war-like mindset. It will help you understand life better.
Right, that's a fact.
A lot of you guys out there, you have bad relationship. You got a bad selection of women because you're thinking small. You chasing tail. You chasing after.
That's a fact. You
chasing after the ones that's for the earth, while we're looking for the ones that's the ruby. You know what I mean? That you gotta look for. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, it's so bad. We put a woman through it. They think it ain't no women in the school. Like, how the hell they get through that? They hear what we saying and wonder how the women make it through it. Listen, that woman that make it through here is tried, man. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? One might catch it. We get caught one time and then we learn. Now, listen, everything that the brother said, I'm doing.
Right.
I'm waiting 6 months. I'm sitting there talking to you. I'm asking you this. I'm asking you that. I need to know if you're on medication, everything. I need to know what's going on with you. Listen, I gotta say things to you that men do not say to women. We listen to them. Listen, I'm allowed to have more than one wife. And they ask, listen, well, can the woman say anything about it? We go right to King David. Nope, you can't. King David's wife said something about him having another woman, and he told her about herself, and then she didn't have no kids. You understand what I'm saying? That's in the Bible. Now we say that, but of course we not straight roots in here. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna explain it to you and tell you we're making our family bigger. It's because we was raised here that we don't remember that this is what we've been doing. And then when you look at them in the world, they have more than one wife anyway.
Yeah, if I could,
Go ahead.
really, man, it's because we can do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line. Like, a lot of us, we don't even understand marriage for
Right.
you know. Now, I hope you get in touch with that because we don't even understand marriage. You dig what I'm saying? Like brothers, like I guarantee that brother believe that he can have more than one wife. You know what I'm saying? He believe to get on one knee, submitting to a woman. Well, there's nowhere in the Bible that tells a man to get on his knee. A lot of you naysayers on TikTok and on social media that got something to say, you going to get on one knee.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? While we get a woman to understand that, hey, you roll with me. You understand? I roll different. That's the difference. You get on the knee, while we trying to keep it PG. You know?
Nah, it's cool.
For sure. You know what I mean? You get on one knee and you submitted to some woman that is going to cheat on you and is probably cheating on you right now.
No, if I could to bring out more what you're saying is this is why we need the scriptures. Because somebody, I was just having this conversation with somebody, I forgot who it was. Was it my real? I was having a conversation with somebody about the marriages in the marriage. I think, no, it might have been a brother from my slavery. Now, if you look at the marriages, matter of fact, it was a brother and a sister from my slavery. Right. You look at the American style of marriage, you get down on one knee, you pay $600,000, $60,000, $100,000. You pay all this money this wedding, and it's like at the end of the day, some brothers be divorced and still paying the wedding off. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was married for 3 years, you still paying payments on the wedding, and now y'all divorced. And she's sitting there looking at you like, you better not answer this ring back. You listen, I already dragged your name, but if you answer this ring back, you're gonna be the worst. Listen. Right. So now you like, listen, that ring is $15,000. I'm still paying on the ring. You in there laying up, but another brother, damn, Salaki. Right. I'm still paying the rent off, the ring off. You in there with another brother, and if I ask for the ring back, you're gonna drag my name through every piece of mud you can find. You can go outside and every piece of mud, you can like, this is what this cat do right here. Drag my name through every piece of mud. Salaki. That's what you gotta go through in this place, man, with your marriages. And then here, man, we just go by the biblical laws, pick the type of sister that's worth something, got some substance to herself. You understand what I'm saying? And then we just sit there and we appreciate it, man. Because I appreciate my rib. The car, sure, you appreciate your rib. You understand what I'm saying? Brothers, they love our women. A lot of y'all can be cruel to women. There's neither male nor female. If you come in this truth, you won't get the same thing that we gonna get. Now, it's not as bad for the sisters, I don't believe. Besides, you gotta show your husband. That's the worst thing. You understand what I'm saying? I believe. And a lot of y'all don't like to listen. That might be the other worst thing. So like, you can keep going to Exodus 1:8.
All right. I was at verse 11. Verse 11. Go ahead. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
They set taskmasters over them in Egypt, man. Now you sitting here, what we was bringing out was the condition of what happened in Egypt and parallel to today, because the Bible says you was going to go into Egypt again with ships, bondage again with ships, and they set taskmasters over there. You know where the Israelite army is at? At Costco, working. At the shop, right, working. You understand what I'm saying? At the Walmart, working. At the construction site, working. You know, Northern Kingdom. Listen, our so-called Mexican brothers, I drove by one time on a long street, and it like a cartoon how they was putting the roof together. Like it was getting built more and more as I drove by. And I'm sitting there looking out the window like, I can't work with them. You understand what I'm saying? I can't do that. Captain Kai just posted something where they was on buckets, sliding across the buckets. Using their weight to slide across the buckets, putting nails into the roof that they was building.
Hanging the drywall.
Like they sliding across buckets. Like I'm a fall. It's a lawsuit. Nobody want me working for them.
Yeah.
You can get them to do that. They balance is excellent. They're not falling. You understand what I'm saying? Now they said they put taskmasters over there, man. We at work, man. We gotta work. We're gonna end up living outside, man. We don't got time for the revolution, man. When you gotta go to work, so like, how you gonna listen? How you gonna have a revolution and bread $7, $6, bread $5, milk $7 real, eggs is ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? They got brothers and sisters going, you know what? I think we got a little bit of yard. How many chickens you think we got back there? We never seen a chicken in person, like a live chicken. And we never seen a live chicken in person, but them egg prices make a brother get a chicken. You understand what I'm saying? Just so you would have eggs at your house. You don't even want to kill and eat the chicken. You like, listen, we need this chicken. This chicken got a job like I got a job. We need more help in this house. That's the condition that they put us in Egypt, man. It's a task over us to make us work, man. And that's what it was when you break up our community, but we can't hire ourselves. Because guess what? You can work from 7 to 3, and then from 3 to 11, we doing the whole revolution right after that. Listen, your boss, I'm going outside with you. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna work in a restaurant, we're gonna make a little bit extra to take with us. We shutting down early, we going outside, and listen, it's on. The revolution is on after work. If we got our own situations, we got our own Negro leagues, we got our own Negro League baseball teams, we making money, we got our own TV deals, this, that, and the third. LeBron James or Salaki, I don't even want to say his name. Kyrie Irving can go out there and say whatever the hell he wants to say. You understand what I'm saying? Post whatever documentary he wants to say, and you can't get fired. That's why it's better to have another nation be your taskmaster, your boss over you, man. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand the Bible, man. And we bring out the Bible and we make it practical. That's what the P is for in UPK, ISUPK. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This is practical, right? This just makes sense. You put taskmasters over somebody, what are they going to be able to do for themselves when they need you for everything? Didn't Donald Sterling say that? Didn't Donald Sterling say that? He said, I pay their bills. I buy them sports cars. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead. This is not a star. Talking about the 6-point star game from Molech. Everybody keeps saying that. We trying to help y'all out, man. First of all, you don't understand Hebrew.
Break it down.
You understand what I'm saying? You do not understand Hebrew. A triangle in Hebrew, what looks like a triangle is a letter in Hebrew. It's a dot. You understand what I'm saying? King David's name is Dawadah. Now, everybody right there, signature different. This is his signet or his signature. That's why you see people with this on their chest. You understand what I'm saying? Because who are you with? I'm with King David. That's why I have this signet on my chest. That's where it all comes from. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible tells you the roundness of the stars in the Bible. We knew that the stars was a ball of gas. You understand what I'm saying? What you was gonna say?
They said it was a star of Moloch.
Yeah.
Okay, the star of Moloch, okay, is an idol.
It's an idol, man.
It's an idol. You see, a lot of people need to start really getting a real understanding of things that definitely deals with the Bible.
Is that like, if I could, that's like the Statue of Liberty today.
Yeah, it's
like you worshiping the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
that's the star of America, man.
That's okay. That's like, okay, is the star of the morning? Is Lucifer the star, a literal star in the morning? Are you saying that he's the sun? No, it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor, man.
That everybody marvels at Lucifer. What would be a nation that is, that is looked upon? At that time, it was the Syrians. Now, it's white people. That's true. Everybody wants to be, fashion themselves. If you want to be successful in America and around the world, how you gotta act? You gotta have that persona and carry yourself like the oppressor. So with the star of Moloch was just a statue, you understand, of a calf. That's it. Do the research. The star of Moloch. Right. Moloch. That's what it was. Nice. People, yeah. Now when you go look into the ancient Hebrew, that a lot of you don't even understand. Right. Ancient Hebrew is what you're seeing on a brother head scarf. Right. That's ancient Hebrew.
Listen, if y'all want to break down this, tune in to ISUPK on Friday. I believe Officer Morago is live from TikTok. He gonna go over there on the whiteboard. He gonna break the whole thing down for you. You can ask him about what this is. You understand what I'm saying? Real Hebrew scholars read the Bible in Hebrew. You understand what I'm saying? Break down the ancient Hebrew. We familiar with the block Hebrew, even though that's something else. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, somebody else said we don't need jobs. We need industries, I think, which is a heavy point. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need industry. Our general just was breaking it down. We think entertainment is an industry, and it's not. It's a long shot. We don't own stuff like the hotels like other nations do, or in certain restaurants or the hair stores or different things like that. So we definitely need industry and to work for ourselves, which I was bringing out because the Bible says the Egyptians set taskmasters over us, meaning that we have to work for them. So if we don't have any type of industry, we can't decide when we on and off work. We can't decide when we entertainment is a distraction, exactly, which is why they pay so much to entertainers and willing to lose and gain money like that off entertainers to keep everybody distracted.
Right.
In ancient Greece and Rome, it was called bread and circus. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep the people fed and entertained, they'll go for anything. You understand what I'm saying? Some of our people is losing their mind about that football game, but when we say our people need to do this or do that, you understand what I'm saying? They don't want to hear it. They're gonna turn their ears away from hearing God's law, like one law in the Bible says, love your brother as you love yourself. Don't suffer sin upon your brother. You understand what I'm saying? Different things like that. They don't want to hear that. You understand what I'm saying? They want to go and watch the football game. They don't give a damn about that. But if I could, you can keep going. Distracted and sedated, exactly. Yeah, we have to have our own stuff, man. That's how they control us, man. You go ahead.
If I could, I know whoever is saying that we need to have our own.
Listen, get in class, man.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people. I tell people this all the time. I hear this a lot on Clubhouse and different platforms. If you want to come together, then come to our school. Contact us. I'm pretty sure TikTok got a DM section. Contact us. We do food programs. If you want to work together, whatever city you in.
Right.
All you gotta do is hit the DM. Hey, how can I help? You could donate clothes that you don't want anymore. It's that simple. Hey, I'm going to send the clothes. Where's the nearest school? Or how can I get these clothes to you? Hey, this is how you can do it. And I got some food that I don't, I got some extra food that I can give. Or I got some funds that I can send in. It's something simple as that. But more importantly, you understand you should get in class. And another thing too, okay, we need to build industries. That means that you had to sit down with your brothers and your sisters. You understand? It's not as simple as everybody think. Oh yeah, we gotta do this and do that. We gotta stop being all talk. It ain't no shot at you, but this is a shot at every Black, Hispanic, Native American. We need to come together with action and not by mouth.
Right. What time is it? 8:18. We got a little bit of time. That's right, man. We got together in action, man. And this is the thing about being an Israelite, man, is this binds us together. This law binds us together. Our oppressor, he don't even really believe in the Bible like that. The one that's walking around, you know what I'm saying, the so-called, we can't say the name because they like to listen. They'll get you shut down. So but a lot of them, they definitely don't believe in the New Testament, most of them. You understand what I'm saying? And they just use it to know they're supposed to stick together. Somebody say I'm Hispanic if we don't claim y'all. That's okay. We got some excellent Hispanic brothers and sisters and they love them, man. That's fine. You ain't got to claim us if you don't want to, but they found a lot of Hebrew writing over here. So it's a lot. Listen, before y'all was speaking, who was y'all speaking? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Hebrew writing that they found over here first. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all already had the Old Testament or whatever. I got video of a Native American brother saying, my people knew we was Israelites, called God Yah and all that. Like the fringes on the clothes, everything. A lot of the stuff that was happening, it is what it is. Go ahead.
Yo, good night. Yo, that's heavy. That you said that. What language was Hispanics, the so-called Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Ecuadorians, what language were you speaking before the Spaniard came here? You don't know.
Now, if I could, right? Somebody say, quit telling Blacks we are oppressed. We are not oppressed, and the oppressor is not our oppressor. That's what they said, right?
Good night.
The water. Somebody said, I'm Puerto Rican now. I support y'all teachers. The water, man. We got an excellent brother in here named Captain Ash. What's his name? Aparium, right?
Yeah.
Aparium is an excellent brother, man. You understand what I'm saying? He tries to help out Puerto Rico, send things to Puerto Rico. You want to help, you can get in contact with us. We'll put you in contact with him. You understand what I'm saying? We listen, we love our Puerto Rican or so-called Ephraim brothers. They will be from the tribe of Ephraim. But to the person that's saying we not oppressed, man, I played a video earlier of a brother saying that basically the same thing that you're saying. And the problem with that is you forgot what happened to you, which is what we're going over in the Bible. You don't know why our families are broken up. You might not feel like you're oppressed, or you might see that you're able to get out of it. But there's a community that we had before stronger than this community that we have now. Now we have the ability to go get a PhD like our oppressor. But instead, what we end up losing out on is our family structure, man. You understand what I'm saying? We start losing out on our family structure and different things like that. And it's not that we're not saying that we aren't the reason why we're being held back at this point. What we're doing is putting the responsibility back in our people's hand by educating them on what happened to them. You understand what I'm saying? The oppressor is the devil. We putting the responsibility back in our people's hand by educating them on who they are, giving them a sense of self, being able to show them, like the brother who was against critical race theory, being able to show them by what people would call critical race theory, but really it's just teaching our history. Show them that we need to stick together, what happened to us. We need laws in common. You understand what I'm saying? And what type of laws do we need in common? That we can't sleep with one another's wife. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're going to fight over that. You understand? Not to usurp usury on your brother, meaning we should be able to let each other slide on interests. Our oppressor do that. You understand what I'm saying? The people that took our identity, they don't really put interest on each other. They're going to put interest on you. You understand what I'm saying? And we are allowed to put interest on other nations, but we ain't supposed to do things like that to our brothers, man. You understand what I'm saying? We supposed to, if we deal with a woman and we lay down with her, that's our wife. We can't throw that woman away. So in here, we're not with anything casual. Ain't nothing in here casual. It's real serious in here. You understand what I'm saying? So if I lay down with a woman, I gotta choose, because I know what we doing comes with responsibility. Everybody among our people need to know that. Because what that'll end up creating is a situation where it's back how it was in the old days, where if a man wants to deal with your daughter, he gotta come talk. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody said I'm God's wife.
Good night. You said God's wife?
Somebody said I'm God's wife.
Somebody.
You like a oppressor. Anyway, that's funny. But anyway, so what end up happening is we end up raising our children to where it's like, look, if I this is what I want. This is my beef with the car too. Listen, if we end up like having kids, right? Say I got a daughter and the car got a son, right? And say we get to the point where I own something and he owns something. And if I own something and he owns something, and then we see our kids are a similar age and we see them around each other, we kind of checking their personality, see that they might like each other. We might kind of sit here and be like, you know what? What if my son and your daughter, or my daughter and your son, what if they, you know what I'm saying, they get married and that family stay together? Like a lot of our trouble ends up coming in life, we realize as we get older and trying to find a partner, because we not, like the scriptures say, it's not good for man to be alone. You understand what I'm saying? So when we try to find a partner, and it's harder for our people because our families are so broken up. We never seen a 2-parent household and different things like that because of, we never seen a 2-parent household because of the things that our oppressor did to us in destroying, you know what I'm saying, our families on purpose. Like we read that earlier. The Nixon campaign literally said Black people are the enemy of the United States and the anti-war left. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because we were becoming strong in the neighborhoods and our people and their people were divided. You take a people and insert them into your population and make them your workforce. It changes from them being a separate group of people who aren't your workforce and who don't like you because you don't like them. You understand what I'm saying? You can't just make a brother be strange fruit, set him on fire in front of everybody, and then be sitting there talking to his people trying to be cool with us. Nah, we know what you did to us. I got the book, but I don't think I can show the images on TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? That without sanctuary, I got that book. But anyway, if you can keep reading. Somebody say finding your partner before finding yourself is where the fault lies. That's true too, and that's what I'm saying. Like we would know we Israelites. My son will be raised up under the same rules that his daughter was raised up under, or vice versa. Since we raised under the same rules, knowing we Israelites, we got the same so-called high holy days. We got everything in common. Once we have that commonality among each other, we can marry our children off easier. And then if they're young, they know who they are, they know they go, they find a mate young. They don't got to go out here and search, man. and sit here and the man be like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. He's trying to do all this and the third to get a woman, not knowing that he's not okay within himself. And then there's a woman, she not okay. She deal with one man, get traumatized, deal with another man, get traumatized, deal with another man, get traumatized. They meet up later and try to make it work. It's not going to work, man. Somebody said we should not integrate it. We shouldn't. It's a scripture in the Bible. Get out of there. Listen, it's a scripture in the Bible where when they was coming into Egypt with Joseph, right? Joseph said, we're going to go into the land of Goshen. He said, tell them we want to go to the land of Goshen. He said, tell them you sheep herders, because the Egyptians look down on sheep herders. Listen, if you think our music is jungle noise, you don't like us, all this, that, and the third, that's fine. We'll go in our own space and we'll be okay among each other. And then we would have owned the NBA. You understand what I'm saying? Then we would have owned our own Major League Baseball. We would have been able to do everything that y'all, even if it was on a smaller scale at first, that's fine. We'd have been able to make $1 billion on LeBron. You pay him $1 billion, how much more money you get? You understand what I'm saying? We are a nation under another nation. So it makes it easier for them to get rich. They can bring another nation over here and put them over top of us. So like you keep reading, they keep trying to pull me on my topic.
No, man,
I'm on topic. I'm finna be on topic, man.
You gotta answer some questions, man.
Go ahead.
You got any more questions?
Just imagine never leaving the kidnapper's house. Get that out of here. Wow. See, look, you this. Listen, if you a brother, you need to get in class, man. Listen, that's exactly what we be saying. Imagine somebody come and take your house, man. You end up passing away. Your kids is there, they pass away. Your grandkids and grandkids is there, they pass away. The person who took your house, his kids keep going and going, and then one day somebody be like, hey man, you know that's your dad's house that you living in, right? You know that them people stole you, right? Is it a statute of limitation on that? Is there a time like when the Holocaust happened? I'm not talking bad about the Holocaust. After it happened, they separated them and sent them somewhere else. We did not get separated. We stayed there, and it continued. And then when we was by ourselves, they decided we was the enemy of the United States, and they broke our families up. They burned our neighborhoods down. They stole millions of acres of our farmland that we had. Millions of acres. The government, the Klan, the regular oppressor people, all of them stole millions of acres, and they ran us everywhere up out of the South, man. Millions of farmland in the South used to belong to us, man. That's why we can't teach critical race theory. That's like even with the dude saying we're not oppressed, stop telling people we're oppressed. Well, listen, I need to tell my people, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to say nothing yet. We're going to figure out where our land is that they stole us at. And then we're going to get lawyers. We're going to get money. We're going to go ask for our land back. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what end up happening if we remember who we are as a people. We'll start building up our own neighborhood. We'll be like, you know what, you see that Dunkin' Donuts over there? Don't buy nothing from this one Dunkin' Donuts until it's shut down. Then we're going to build our own donut shop and put it right there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to buy it after they leave. You see that pizza shop over there? Uh-huh. Who make pizza? You make pizza good? Listen, we're not going to patronize this store at all. It's in our neighborhood until it's shut down. And then we build our own store right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you how we are oppressed. Remember back in the press can mean more than one way of being oppressed.
America, the promised land for who?
Like you can psychologically oppress somebody, physically oppress somebody. You understand? And a lot of people don't understand. Like, see, we come from the streets, so it's like we know about extortion. Taxes is extortion. You understand what I'm saying? Like taxes is extortion, and this is the other side of the coin on psychological oppression. When you look at what happened down south, when that sister got beat up out of that hair store, right, by those Chinese people, black men, like when they say protect black women, black men went inside of that store and boycotted that store. So everybody turned around, nope, you ain't buying here.
Right.
You know what the Asian people did? Because they knew how oppressed we were and how weak and feeble-minded we were, they said everything half off. It was a 50% sale. You know what black women did? Lined up and got that store back up and running. They didn't think about going to a black hair store that got everything.
Right.
They didn't think about going online and saying, hey, which one of y'all selling some hair products?
Which one of y'all sisters got
Which
the
one
hair?
of y'all sisters? Every sister, the hairdressers sell the weave. So you can't say that. Instead of them doing that, they seen them Asian people dead, they didn't care. So you can't say that, oh, you're not oppressed. You should look up psychology. Study psychology. A psychologist will tell you that Black, Hispanic, Native American people are beaten down and destroyed. You look at the stats, we are at the bottom.
Right.
Black families, we hold the world record for broken homes. Go look it up.
No,
Single parent homes, we double, damn near triple every other nation in the world. You telling us that we're not oppressed?
no. If I could,
Psychologically?
that's real heavy what you breaking out right now, man. And that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. Like sometimes you got a strong body, but you got a weak mind, man. Or, like it's brothers in here, like Terry Crews, for perfect example. Terry Crews doing all that, strong as hell. Oppressor walk up to him and grab him right in the situation, and he don't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Brothers be strong as hell in their body, but in their mind, they can't be strong towards their people, man. A lot of us is absolutely brainwashed, man. And that's the problem, man. This is the thing, too. And this is kind of the point I'm getting into. I'm going to get back on topic. What our oppressor did to us in specific is he took a people from another place, right? And he took everything. And then he gave you what he wanted you to have. You got to think. The American dream is what? You get you a house, picket fence, you get the little dog, married, you understand? You get your American dream set up. What was our dream before we came over here, man? Was that what we was thinking about? Does anybody know what we was thinking about before we came over here? Huh? We sat here and we watched them do good. We was looking at their table like, you know what? I want what's on his table. He getting rich. He got a woman. We don't even think we beautiful no more as a people. We think our nose is ugly, our face is ugly. We all types of racist names I can't say on TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? We thinking that about ourselves. We looking at everything that you got like it's better than what we got, man. That is psychological oppression, man. They did the doll baby test. They give a child a doll of ours and a doll of the oppressor. They give us them two dolls to our babies and ask them which one is good, which one bad. They pick the oppressor. Which one is ugly? They pick us. Which one's beautiful? They pick the oppressor, and so on and so forth. And it's the psychological damage that's happening to our people, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you had to say something?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
To comment what you just said. We just started loving our hair.
We just start loving our hair.
Remember, it was so bad.
Like, just start loving it. Like,
remember, the generation before us, what was it?
They told me get haircuts.
Yeah, you get the perms, Negro naps, you know what I'm saying? BDBs, you understand? It got to the point where Chris Rock had to make a movie about it. And that movie kind of like frayed us away, and then like, you know, the black revolution started, starting to spark back up again, and the black self-love came back, you understand? Where now we love our blackness. You know what I mean? We rock the hair natural more and things like that. Before it was, psychological warfare. Hey, what we see in the movies, in the magazines. This oppressor woman. That's
Miss America.
Yeah, that's Miss America.
You understand what I'm saying?
Like that?
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, guys didn't even really want the natural woman like that back in the day.
No, if I could, right? y'all listen. And this tool what we bringing out right now, this is like very like regular for what we teach here. This is like the baseline, and this is an important part of us needing to love ourselves, to understand ourselves. And I'm gonna answer this last question. I'm gonna get back into the scriptures. They say, yes, he took us, but we also sold to them by our own people. Just so you can understand, like as an Israelite, and you can do this experiment for yourself. We are not slow in here. You understand what I'm saying? We got enough sense to know. Like when I was first coming in here and learning, I would learn stuff in here and then go outside and see if it was true. Learn stuff and go outside and see if it was true, right? So it said we sold our own people. Everybody in Africa is not the same people. I understand that. We got ran out of Israel in 70 AD, fleeing from the Romans. We ran into Africa. They got maps about it. You can go look up Jewish people in Africa. They're gonna show you people that they might or they may or may not be Israelites. I don't believe that they are, but there's people down there with them practices that are down there in Africa. But they'll show you, like the oppressor will show you that our people ran down there. Somebody said we were wearing our afros in the 1970s. Exactly. That's why I was bringing it out. The oppressor decided we was his enemy. He seen the way to deal with us was to be wise, deal wisely with us, like the scripture said, and have us integrate with him and become his workforce. And then put taskmasters over us because work. Now, if you want a job and you got an afro and a beard, you got to cut your beard and your afro off. But real quick, so in Africa, when we was over there, we was living amongst other people that was not our people. We all the dark races were already fighting each other before the oppressor came over there. We already knew we was different people, did not like each other. Now, this is my experience, right? I used to ride Ubers to work every day because I work overnight and I ain't want to, be sleep on public transportation. I ain't feel like getting in the car. We live in the city. Anyway, Ubers every night, right? Every day. And every time I would get in the car with a so-called African, I would talk to him, right? But I did a little bit of research. So I would ask them, where you from? Okay, what family group you from? They sit there and look at me like, what the hell? Like, how do you know that? Because the people don't talk to us because we don't know nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Like the knowledge that our oppressor gave us was slave knowledge. We don't know anything. So because we don't know anything, what ended up happening is when we talk to them and we know, oh, what family group you from? Because they're not all the same. They fight each other in their own countries. Like, this is an Ethiopian person. He from this family group. This family group don't like the other family groups. What's your language? I don't know that language. What's the parent language? You can trace people by their languages, by their parent language, different things like that.
Break down family group. This is my first time hearing about it.
Like you might have to do what I do for this. He has what was a family group. The family groups is like everybody is Ethiopian, but it's like 15 different groups in there that's like consider themselves their own to a degree, but they live in Ethiopia.
All right.
So this one got a name, this one got a name, this one got a name, this one got a name. So when I said this to him, he turned around and looked at me like, how you know that? Like, he was like, you Ethiopian? I'm like, nah. I'm like, what language you speak? He told me, I said, I don't know if I heard it. I said, what's the parent language? He said, look back at me again, like, hold on. Like, because he never heard us like ask some type of questions because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're not familiar with what goes on over there.
So question. Mm-hmm. So are you saying like, is it like how like certain mob families would say? Like they might say, y'all, I'm from Sicily, but Sicily might got different families. Yeah. So it might be the Sopranos or the Gottis or something like that. Is he saying like that? Like the Gotti family? Like is he talking about family?
I'm not
like
sure.
That, or
of course, what we know is it might not be the same type of
the Hussies or the
deals. It might be kind of like that. Like
Hussies and the Tussies.
They live in the same place, but there's different. They're different though. Like they might have different languages in the other family group too. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you be able to tell who is who. But we lost our languages from back then. And, we used to speak different languages because we had to trade with the people around us too. So we'd be familiar with everybody's language. Like, it's like when we got over here, we got slow. Now we know one language. Over there, we would have known two and three languages. Because the people around us, we would have had to know what they were saying to us so we can trade with them and different stuff like that. So when I asked him about this family group stuff, he's looking at me like, nobody like normally asks me that, especially not black people, because we don't know no better. You see what I'm saying? So when I broke that down to him, like, what language you speak? I didn't know it. I said, what's the parent language? He told me the parent language. I'm like, okay, I know that one. You know what I'm saying? And I keep asking questions. But every time that I rode with one of them and got to ask them these questions, African. I'm saying we're Israelites. Every time I rode with an African, I sat there and I said, are me and you the same people? And they told me, they looked me in my eyes and said no every time. It was one from West Africa. Now listen, by the look of it, I'm like, listen, he said he's from West Africa, said he's from the slave coast. He telling me about the stuff over here to go see. Like, yeah, they used to hold the slaves up here. You should go see it. This, that, and the third. This is the conversation we having. Like, this is the truth, what I'm saying to you. All this, right? He like, y'all, dating American black girl, woo, woo, all this, that, and the third. We get to the end of the ride. We sitting there, we still talking, having a good conversation. I'm like, are me and you the same people? He looked at me, got quiet. They're like it was hurting for him to say it. He just looking at me. And he didn't say nothing. He literally just looked at me for a little minute. Like, I'm like, we the same people? He just looked at me. I asked him again, I mean, you the same people? He looked at me more. He shook his head. He ain't say nothing. I'm like, we not. He looked at me, stopped shaking his head. I'm like, me, you not the same people? He was like, nah, we not the same people. I said, okay, and got out the car. That's our experience. So you got to peep, right? They know that we're not the same people as them. They remember. You see what I'm saying? They know why they so. Like, what point do you get where you sell your auntie and your cousin and your homie? They come over there. What are they trying to? What are they even giving you to make you sell your auntie and to sell grandma? You know what I'm saying? To sell your uncle. Your uncle's strong. He in the village doing this thing, and then you go, you know what? Listen, we gonna get them drunk, tie them up, and take them. What make you? You see what I'm saying? But that's the case with us being African. We're not all the same people. So even if you do want to say that we're African, you're gonna have to figure out what type of African we are because we're not all the same people. The people in Nigeria starve the people of Biafra to death. You can look that up for yourself. The Biafra War. Go look it up. Look at them pictures of them kids. It's sick. And them two dark nations. But guess what? They know they're not the same people. So when the people of Biafra try to separate, they say we're not having that. And I'm not saying that's okay because it's not. Whatever. That's what happened. Go ahead.
I got a question. Well, I got a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. Same thing that you was doing, one body, one spirit, one baptism. I was doing the same thing around the COVID time. You know, catching lips everywhere. So I was asking Africans like, how is it back over where they are from, right? And they was like, yo, I'm going back soon. They was like, I don't really want to be here. I'm only here to make money. They said, American money is worth way more over there. So they was like, yo, I'm building a house as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Take care of my family. And I was like, dang, so you can just build a house anywhere? They was like, yeah, you can just build a house anywhere. It's just land an opportunity. I was like, dang, that's what it means to be free.
Right.
You can do your own plumbing. You can drill holes anywhere, collect rainwater. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that in America. Why? Because we don't own it. That's what I picked up from the Africans when we spoke.
Somebody asked me about Christ. Y'all probably don't understand Christ, but we believe in Christ. Christ was a so-called brother. He was one of us. You know what I'm saying? You can keep reading real quick. I want to speed through this real quick. I might touch on a couple different things. Y'all asked us about Christ.
It's 8:42.
The water.
You know, however you want to play it.
You can go ahead.
All right.
Now, where we at is Nixon decided in 1968 or something like that?
I think it was around like 1962, 1968.
Whenever Nixon decided that black people was the enemy of the United States and the anti-war left and the hippies and all that. Now, I'm showing you in the Bible where because the Bible says you're going to go into Egypt again with ships, where the king of Egypt decided the same thing that he decided that the Israelites were his enemy living in his country. What you was going to say?
No, I was nothing. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 12. But the more there, verse 11. This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Set taskmasters over us. Put us to work, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native American army is at work, man. And you can't take off when you want to take off because your boss, listen, start leaving that job a little bit too much. You're going to get up out of there. Now, right now, the pandemic got them a little loose orders to where they hire anybody now as a lockheed. But before this pandemic, you was getting up out of there. You ain't show up to work too many times. But you don't got time for the revolution because you got to pay bills, man. Go ahead.
All right, no sweat. Therefore, they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses.
Go ahead.
Verse 12, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
So we kept growing, man. Even though we was working hard together, we kept doing. We had, listen, it's a lot. We had to take that stress out somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? We was taking that stress out on wifey. It's a lot. Now we got more kids, and we kept growing. Go ahead.
No sweat. Verse 13, the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Made us to serve with rigor. Go ahead. Made it even harder. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in order and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
You can drop down to where it says about the kids, about the children.
Right.
And it said he was going to serve their enemies too. Are Africans Israelites? No. African is a misnomer. You have to figure out where the people that are over there are from specifically. African is the name that was given to that place, but they're all not united. They're not all the same people. Israelites would be Israelites. They're not Africans. The other dark races are called Hamites. You understand what I'm saying? You got the other part.
Yeah, I got it right here, verse 22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye cast into the river, and every daughter
It said every
ye
what?
shall save.
It said every what?
Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river.
So they came up with a new plan, right? When the rigor wasn't working enough, they said, you know what? Every son, throw him into the river. Now, what's in the river in Africa? Crocodiles in the river in Africa. No, we say Egypt is America. What was they doing to us in Florida? Anybody know what they did to us in Florida? They threw our babies to alligators, right? Do y'all know that happened? Christ is not God. Oh, he has somebody else. Anyway, so they threw our children to alligators, man. And at this point, man, they decided, man, to take the life of our children, man. You understand what I'm saying? To destroy them in the womb, man. Somebody said fed the alligators. Exactly. It's a book. It's in here. We don't need to read it. We don't got that much time. But it breaks down where the clinics that they unalive babies in. I'm on TikTok, so lock it. The clinics where they do this at, they where they started this up or whatever. And it's the same thing, man. It's the same exact thing. The same thing they did in Egypt. It made us work. They seen we was making too many kids. They seen that we might join up with their enemies. And back then, the Muslims, the Black Panthers, Martin Luther King, different groups that was rising up in America, people from overseas would begin to see us do what we was doing and be like, you know what? Give them some money. Let's help their cause out. Do this at the third to cause a problem in America. You understand what I'm saying? They could not have that. So black people in the anti-war left became the issue, man. And if they would have left us alone, we would have grew. But that wasn't of the Lord's spirit, so the Lord let that all get torn apart because these people were not following the laws of the Bible, so it didn't work. You understand what I'm saying? It's only going to work if you follow the laws of the Bible. Somebody asked about the Africans and the Israelites. I'm going to read the definition of hand from the Bible dictionary. It says the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and the Canaanites. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not the same people. Even in the Bible dictionary, tell you the Negroes are a different group of people than the rest of the Africans. You can give me Deuteronomy 28. We gonna get into these curses a little bit.
9:48.
Water. Come. Get into these curses a little bit. Hold on real quick. Got Hebrews 9:15, if you can help me remember that. You still was holding that other scripture? With the other two with Pharaoh, with Moses,
Yeah.
when he killed the
Yeah, I got you.
and you got the other one? Nah, we finished. Yeah, I know. Listen, I know.
I was like, I know you going in. I'm like, listen.
Nah, I know.
So I got you. It's 2:11. All right.
You asked me, do we keep? Oh, yes, we keep the law, but you don't have to sacrifice no more because Christ was the last sacrifice.
All right. We in the grace period. We come back.
Yeah, we in the grace period. Like the same way you get grace in your bills It's gonna be due eventually. Pico give you a little break. I don't know what y'all electric company or whatever called. They give you a little break. Listen, you got a grace period before you pay this rent, but you finna be homeless. We got a grace period, but even in our grace period, we still suffering from what's in Deuteronomy 20. Let's just go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's just go in there for a little bit, because this kind of bridge together. Y'all had questions, so I was asking y'all questions, but this kind of bridge together, like what's going on. You can start at 1, then drop down to 15.
All right, so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
The Bible says the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth if you hearken diligently, meaning if you do what he's telling you to do. You understand what I'm saying? Which is these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the book of Deuteronomy 27:1 says Moses with the elders of Israel, meaning that these are the only people that ever got the law. Now, if you know the dietary law, right? We're not allowed to eat what? Pork, shrimp, crab, lobsters, bat, different things like that. All you gotta do is look at the other nations and see whether or not they had these laws or not. You understand what I'm saying? You can pull me in Amos where it says, I only dealt with you, or I'm gonna punish you. What is that? Amos 9 or something? If you need me to find it real quick, I could. But it said if you hearken diligently, he's going to put you on high above all nations. So within the Bible, you understand what I'm saying? It's not equality. Israelites supposed to be over everybody in the Bible. There's not nothing. That's not something that was taught among Israelites or that we believe. We believe God wanted us to be above everybody. We're God's chosen people. And to the person that asked about keeping the law, if you want to learn more about trying to keep the law and understand Christ in keeping the law and how the grace period and everything works, tune into these classes, man, and we'll show you how to do it. You got to be trained to do certain things, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's why Christ said you got to kill the old man. You understand what I'm saying? So once you kill the old man off and become a new person, it becomes easier to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. You understand what I'm saying? If you on drugs, or if you eating the wrong type of food or this, that, and the third, you understand what I'm saying? You'll start to, stop doing these things. But drop down to 15 or read what you got.
Okay, this is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Hear this word that God has spoken against you, O children of Israel. Go ahead.
Against the whole family, which I brought.
Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
He said what?
You only have I known.
What?
You only have I known.
I don't know nobody but you.
You only have I known.
I don't know nobody else but y'all. That's like your kids, right? When I was a kid and I tried to pull that, everybody else was doing it. Everybody else talking. My mom told me, you're not everybody else. And she said the time me in the room, but I was like, you know what? I'm not a father. My mother does not want me to be a father. You understand what I'm saying? So when everybody else talking, what I do, shut up. So when everybody else is eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, and pork the other white meat, what you supposed to do? Turn your nose up at that and don't eat it. You understand what I'm saying? When everybody else is out here having all type of casuals that lead to STDs and different things like that and breaking their family up, let everybody else do it. We don't do that. We Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? When everybody else out here killing their own people and this, that, and the third, they had nothing to do with us because we're Israelites, man. You only have I known. Go ahead.
Slip. And all of these blessings shall, Salakia.
No, I want the Amos.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
Not Amos.
Oh.
Finish.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Somebody said, of course, you got the special mentality. They think it's funny, right? But we just read out the Bible. Only Israel received the laws of Moses. And this just said, you only have I known out of all the families on the earth. And people want to act like black people not special. Like, y'all don't see LeBron James get $1 billion from Nike. Y'all want to act like we not special, like we can't be poor in the hood shooting at each other, then rap about it and become a millionaire. We the only people that just be able to just talk and just do stuff and end up being like, it's people. In Japan, they got stores that sell hip hop style clothes. Why is everybody wearing Yeezys? What you mean we not special? We the best thing on the planet, Salakia. We the best thing on the planet, Salakia. Go ahead.
Real quick. All I want to say is this. If your comprehension is just that bad, just say that.
Yeah.
Because when you just blurt out, you read verbatim what was that's in the Bible.
You only have I known. But it said we're gonna get punished because of it. Now go to Deuteronomy 28 and
Come on, no sweat. Got you. Where we at?
somebody said sunglasses. Y'all so simple, bro.
Where?
I was waiting for it. Like I wore these like I'm gonna wait for somebody to say something. Go ahead.
All right, what verse?
Y'all almost made it. We almost done. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
15.
We just gonna gloss
Book of
over this.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Don't listen to God. Go ahead.
to observe,
To do what?
to
Go
observe,
ahead.
to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses will come upon thee and take thee. We do believe in Christ, and we read the New Testament. Just go ahead. Just start reading. Just read.
God, no sweat. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, man. We live in the city of Philadelphia, man. How are we cursed in Philadelphia, man? How are we cursed in Philadelphia? We 50% of the population and own 2.5 or 2.4% of the businesses, but we 50% of the population. You understand what I'm saying? The amount of us unaliving each other out here is ridiculous, man. I'm just gonna keep talking. There's another curse in the Bible that says your eye is gonna be evil towards your brother, and this is the city of brotherly love, and there is no love outside of these doors, man. This is the only place in Philly where we love each other. The Muslims are doing each other dirty out here, man, and the Muslims out here sell drugs, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's going on. That's what's really going on. But what do? Turn brothers away, man. I got you. Turn brothers away from their evil, man. Get them to stop doing the evil thing they was doing before, man. We get brothers off of drugs, man. Get brothers to stop selling drugs. Get brothers to stop hating their brothers. And it's so natural because you grow up in an environment where because we have such of a low self-esteem and grow up in a low state, and we sit here and like he was saying earlier, like I was saying earlier, we grow up in a place where we end up oppressing each other. Why? Because once you can't hurt the person that's hurting you, you take it out on somebody else. So guess what? You in your house getting oppressed and getting beat by somebody that's not your father. You know what you do? You go to school and beat the hell out of somebody else. Man. You got the freshest clothes on, so what you do? Beat the hell out of somebody else. You look at your image on TV and your image is trash, man. You understand what I'm saying? You vilified on the nightly news. That's the other part of the Nixon thing. It said we're going to vilify them on the nightly news, man. You vilified on the news. All your idols is gangsters and different things like that. You sitting here looking up to the Italian gangsters and doing things not in your culture. You know what happened? You end up hating each other, man. It's a curse shall you be in the city. Go ahead. We hit a couple more. I'm glossing over it, and I want one more scripture. We about to listen. We leave. It's a lot.
Come. And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed shalt thou be in the field, man. Brother, you live in listen, it's brothers in Alaska, gang banging and everything else to each other, man. In the suburbs, when I moved to the suburbs, they was doing the same thing, man. You understand what I'm saying? It was a bunch of gangs where I was at, and it just got worse. You was either gonna sink or swim, man. That's our environment, man. You can get is groping at noonday in there? Groping at noonday, is that in there? In the curses? Let me see.
You said the what?
Groping at noonday.
What?
I got it. Real quick. I won't gloss over it. I probably won't. Deuteronomy 20 and 29. I think it's like the one before that. And we finna roll.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness, and blindness and astonishment of heart.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness, man. Black people, Hispanic people, Native American people are running around smited with blindness and madness, man, especially our people, man. We don't know who the hell we are. We don't know what the hell to do. We sit here and try to get out of one problem, and trying to get out of that problem put you into another problem, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's our reality, man. Go ahead.
God, no sweat. Verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday.
You're going to grope at noonday. You looking to grab anything, but it's daylight outside. That's why I said noonday. It's the middle of the day, and you're trying to look for something to grab onto to attach to yourself. Looking for an identity, man. Go ahead.
As the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
You're not going to prosper in your ways, man. A lot of people wonder what's wrong with our people, man. It's because we don't follow God's laws, man. That's what's wrong with us, man, as a people. Once we start to understand God's laws, statutes, and commandments and understand Christ, then we start to realize and put ourselves back together to it. We no longer groping at noonday. We know exactly who we are. We know exactly what we're supposed to do. We know exactly what's coming because World War III is coming, baby. You understand what I'm saying? World War III is coming. The chariots is coming. Christ is coming. All of that. That's what we know. And we know all these things. So we just, it is what it is. Go ahead.
No sweat. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore.
Only oppressed and spoiled evermore. Everybody just keep taking more and more and more from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. That's our reality. That's one of the curses in the Bible, man. And what other people is going through this, man? They tell you that you're going to lose your identity in the Bible. Who has lost their identity? Who on the earth used to be somebody and don't know who the hell they used to be besides us? Our people will sit there and argue with us that Spanish is their native language. You understand what I'm saying? That's what some of our people do. I want one more scripture, then we can clip it if I could. One more. Let me find it. I got it. Oh, did I just? Hebrews 9:15. Now, y'all can keep tuning in the class, whether you with us or you against us on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever, whether you with us or against us, keep tuning in. We'll have more time to answer more of y'all questions coming up soon. But I'm bringing out this last scripture before I end the class for a reason. It's because a lot of people think that Christ came, y'all don't understand Christ at all. A lot of people think that when Christ came, he came to bring everybody in that wasn't an Israelite, even though God is only really dealing with the Israelites. And a lot of people believe that, but that's not the case. And this is one of the many scriptures that's going to say it. You can read it for me, Hebrews 9:15. We're going to end the class with that.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 9 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
This cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, talking about Christ. Go ahead.
That by means of death, for the redemption of the transgression that were under the first testament.
By what?
That were under the first testament.
Under the first testament, man. He's the mediator for the people that was under the first testament. There's another scripture like this. I think it's Luke 1 and I think it's in the 60s or 70s. You understand what I'm saying? He's the mediator for the people that was under the first testament. That's the only people that Christ died for. And that's the end of that. Is that it?
That was it.
That's it. All right. With that being said, Shalom, we're going to end the class. The Passover this year is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st. You understand what I'm saying? Come through, come celebrate the Passover. You understand? With your brothers and your sisters, it's going to be an excellent Passover. Understand what I'm saying? Shalom. Y'all Bashem shout to the brothers. Y'all Shalom Thabah Hashem.